Alrighty, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to the 2025 annual meeting of the College Key. Thank you to those of us who are joining us as part of their reunion weekend, as well as those who made the special trip to campus. My name is Henry Gung. I go by Hank, class of 2013. I serve as president of the College Key. I'm joined today by my colleagues on the College Key Executive Committee, including our Vice President, Jen Crawford, Treasurer Susan Ewell, our staff liaison, Justin Fortier, who's in the back. We also have our auditor, John Howard, who's here. Unfortunately, our secretary, Ben Hughes, and advisor, Marianne Cohen, were unable to be with us today, but I do want to give a special welcome to Senior Associate Dean for Purposeful Work, Alan DeLong. We do have a packed agenda today and a lot of business to cover. In today's meeting, you'll be hearing from the Executive Committee about the impact that the College Key has had on Bates this past year, primarily through the grant funds we disperse and the signature programs that we host that are supported by your membership dues. For those of us who weren't able to join us earlier this spring, we will be providing a brief reflection and recap of our annual Distinguished Alumni in Residence program, which this year featured Marnie Cochran, class of 90, parent of 22 and 24, who has had a stellar career in publishing and now serves as vice president and editorial director at Random House. We will also have an opportunity to welcome our student and alumni inductees, some of whom are in the room with us today as they become new members of the Key. And we will be finally presenting our annual Distinguished Service Award, which honors long-serving and retiring staff and faculty here at Bates. Our goal on the College Key Executive Committee is twofold: to increase the impact the Key has on the college and to help you all as College Key members be as involved and engaged in this impact as is meaningful for you. We are a volunteer-led organization, and we welcome your feedback and input as we endeavor to meet those goals on behalf of the entire Key. With that, on behalf of our Secretary, Ben Hughes, I will move on to the approval of our minutes from the 2024 annual meeting from the College Key. You'll find those minutes in your packet. May I have a motion to approve? Second? All in favor? So moved. And with that, I will pass it over to our treasurer, Susan Ewell, for a financial update.
Thank you, Hank, and thank you all for being here. I bet it's because you heard the air conditioning was really good in this room, huh? All right, so I have the pleasure of coming to my very first annual meeting as an officer of the College Key. In July, we are electing new officers, and our year is calendar year, January through December. So I didn't do the heavy lifting on the treasurer's report. I have to tell you, Don McDade, thank you, Don. Where are you?
Right here.
Okay. He did all of the hard work that happens between January and July, and I want to thank him very much for doing what you've done. Also, both he and Hank were quite innovative in doing some very innovative things that helped out the College Key in a financial way. They both decided that we needed a database tracking tool, a little green light, so you'll see in this report that's in your folder, and we'll show pieces of it here, that there are some costs related to that. Also, they started a new electronic payment system through Stripe. So that is something also new that was brought in. As Hank said, we are a nonprofit organization, a 501c3, and by virtue of that, we are an independent organization from Bates College. We work very closely with Bates. Makes it very exciting for us as Key members because, as you'll see with the funds that we dispersed, we have some opportunity to help students on campus now in what we like to call small but powerful gifts of kindness. These are not very large, 10, 20, 30,000 per person, but they really do make a difference. I was talking with Associate Dean Allen before, and there is quite a few students on campus that apply for these internships and shadowing. So let's get to it. I guess I have the clicker, right? In a nutshell, we'd like to show you the 3 years at a time so you all have an idea of what the funding has been. Pretty consistent, 22, 21, 19, about 19. That's all driven by you and your fellow Bates College Key members, all by dues. Dues are currently $30, I believe, for the year. And, one of the things that I've always heard is that, gosh, Susan, we didn't even know what College Key does, or how do I get involved? So we're here now. If you want to talk with us afterwards, we'd love to share with you all of the things that you can do to tell your fellow Batesies about the College Key and the kind of things that we do, right? So about 19 in revenue. These are the disbursements that we had. And I will tell you another innovative thing that Hank and Jen and Ben and Dawn did last year, because these are numbers from 2024, remember, it's last year. Prior to that, they decided we've got a lot of cash in the College Key Fund, and why don't we redistribute that and make it an operating fund for the students on campus. And that's a great use of our funds. Why have it sit in the bank, right? So they have a very strict measurement that they look at, or that we are going to look at, to ensure that we have enough funds in the College Key. But we do want to disperse it so that you can know that your monies are helping out students while they're here, right? Our expenses, you don't see them here, but they are in the packet. Our expenses are about 10%. Very, very low. 19 is what we brought in. About 1,800 is what the expenses were. And I have to do one last thank you. John Howard, who's also here today, was fantastic in looking at our numbers and being our auditor for the year, and doing it all with enough resilience and attention to detail, but not really creating, both he and I are new to the roles that we have, so we were able to go through that. I would like to invite Dean Long up here right now to tell us a little bit about the program Distinguished Alumni in Residence, which is one of the disbursements that College Key supports.
Actually, Susan, I'm going to talk about Job Shadow, if that's...
Yes, that's part of, yeah.
And I loved what Susan just said about small and powerful ways that you can impact a student's time on campus. And that's really what I'm here to talk to you about today. I'd first like to say welcome back to Bates. I'm delighted to be with you today to talk about that impact that your individual and collective funds continue to have on the Bates student experience. And I'm going to talk to you about goats. This is Hannah Sessions and Greg Bernhardt from the class of 99. They're both from the class of 99, who own and operate Blue Ledge Farm just outside of Middlebury, Vermont, where they raise goats and produce some of the most delicious cheese in the Northeast. They are parents to Livia from the class of 24 and Hayden from the class of 26. And this year, Hannah and Greg hosted 8 Bates students as part of the Purposeful Work Job Shadow program. They also just hired a member of the class of 2025 to work full-time on their farm. In addition to Hannah and Greg, 248 alumni and parents offered job shadows at places that weren't farms to more than 400 Bates students, 449 to be exact, which is the largest number of students applying in the history of the Job Shadow program. That's about 25% of the entire student body. And because Job Shadow hosts often provide spots for more than one student, like Hannah and Greg did, alumni offered more than 900 opportunities to Bates students between January and May. Shadows were both in-person and virtual. Students learned about work at Bloomberg News, at Boeing Defense, at Bread for the World, Phillips Exeter Academy, Fox Sports in Los Angeles, the Portland Symphony Orchestra in Maine, and the Vanguard Financial Group in New York. We have a full list of job shadows on the Purposeful Work website, as well as information on how to become a host, if that is of interest to you, and I hope it is. I'm here to personally thank each member of the College Key for making this program best in class among our peer institutions. All students who apply for in-person job shadows and who receive financial aid from Bates are eligible for a grant, this is where you come in, that supports travel expenses to their shadows. These funds are made possible by a generous gift from the College Key. And this year, we provided 45 grants for up to $500 each for a total of $22,000. Making this valuable exploratory work experience possible for students who otherwise may not have had the financial means or the inherited professional networks to make it happen on their own. We ask students to reflect on their job shadow experiences, and without exception, the reports are glowing. One student wrote about the impact this way. During my time at Bates, the Purposeful Work Job Shadow program has been invaluable for my professional growth. As a first-generation student, networking has been particularly intimidating. And the facilitator role that Purposeful Work takes is amazing. I've been able to fully explore my various interests while making incredible connections with Bates alumni. I'm also happy to report that alumni seem to have a blast connecting with current students. J.J. Cummings from the class of 1989 wrote this: "Dear Team Purposeful Work, Sarah and I wanted to thank you for giving us the privilege of hosting," and then he names the 5 students, "for the Job Shadow program. We had a packed schedule, touring the USS Gerald R. Ford, my last ship, flying the F-18 simulator, meeting fighter pilots at Naval Air Station Oceana, sitting in on business development Zoom calls with Boeing Defense and Shield AI, my new company, and checking out the Virginia Beach, Norfolk area. The real highlight, though, was connecting over dinner. It felt like Commons, except that our meal banter only lasted 2 to 3 hours, and not the common standard of 5 to 6. They are impressive, motivated, curious young people, and Bates should be incredibly proud of the caliber of person it's nurturing and then sending into the world. 2 of the 5 students invited us to their graduation, which speaks volumes. This wasn't a job shadow experience because experience implies a singular event or maybe a one and done engagement. Nope. This was the start of a meaningful, lifelong connection. Excuse me. We can't think of a better way to give back to the school we love, end quote. We in Purposeful Work are incredibly grateful for the financial and other support from the College Key. Your generosity allows us to make these high-impact work opportunities available to all Bates students. Thank you.
Thank you. I just wanted to go back here and to the slide on disbursements, much what Dean Allen was talking about is the idea that we've got the scholarship programs, the internship travel that you've helped support. Last year we dispersed the $27,000 the Coat Fund, which was Dean Reese's personal favorite fund. But also we have the Distinguished Alumni in Residence. And this year we were fortunate to have Marnie Cochran, who was phenomenal. Hank had mentioned she's not only a graduate, but a parent of 2 students. And also, I have to tell you, when we had the 25 or so people in the room attending the DARE presentation that she gave, we had another 25 on the phone, and 12 of the people were all of her roommates who were just, pounding to just, she's so well liked. Her particular presentation is something that Purposeful Work should use as a template, really, because she came in all in. She was all in, and she talked about her wonderful job as an executive producer and editor, but she also related it to the students and said, look at my industry. Look at all the jobs as a liberal arts student that you can, a liberal arts graduate that you can go into. She had people, just following her all around campus. She also had 2 interviews prior to the 11:30 conversation with the campus, and she had 2 students after pitch their book idea. So if you want to know more about Marnie, you can go on to the website and find out about her. But this is all because of you and because of what you and your colleagues have given to Key. I couldn't echo more about how wonderful it is. If you're a freshman or sophomore and you don't have that network or you aren't connected, to have this opportunity is one of the gifts that makes Bates so special. So there you have it. Jen?
Thanks, Susan. Good afternoon, everybody. Every year we have the pleasure of inducting seniors into the College Key, usually about 5% of the class that are nominated by faculty and staff at Bates, and by virtue of their achievements and their impact while they're on campus. Certainly a very humbling experience for me when I do this, because I realize that I'm very glad I went to Bates when I did, because I'm not really sure I would get in now. Quite impressive group of students. I'd like to read out their names of the students that we inducted a few weeks ago during graduation weekend. Maggie Ammon, Ella Beiser, Star Bradley, Ethan Chan, Dhruv Chandra, Anna Cody, Maria Femia, Emily Gonzalez, Maxwell Good, Risa Horiuchi, Inez Johnson, Miriam Keller, Rashad King, Anna Lindice, Alexandra Long, Joy Lagunda, Maria McAvoy, Lily Miller, Ruslan Paradelsky, Ananya Rayo, Elena Ralph, Emily Scaro, Joaquin Torres, Brandon Velatra Lopez, Weihang Wang, Caitlin Watt, and Amanda Zerbib. And I'd also like to take the time to thank everyone who submitted nominations for alumni, for fellow alumni to the College Key as well. I'd like to thank the nominating committee also, who helped select and review the nominees. Ned Moreland, Adrian Shibbles, and Betsy Brown, who worked alongside Secretary Ben Hughes to review, vet the nominees, and come up with this fantastic list. So I'd like to read out the names of our new alumni inductees. Stephanie Bennett from the class of 70, Sean Ryan, the class of 85, C. Mead Wells from the class of 90, Angela Knox from the class of 05, Tamisha Edwards from the class of 15, and Lexi Jamison from the class of 20. I'd like to call for a motion to approve all the new student and alumni members to join the College Key. Have a second? I'd like to ask the new inductees to stand to be recognized. And I want to thank you all for your commitment and your service to Bates. We're really excited to have you as part of the College Key. Now, I'd also like to note that in your packets, there is a list of our recently deceased College Key members, and I'd like to call for a moment of silence. Thank you. I'd like to pass it on to Hank now to talk about the Distinguished Service Award.
Thank you, Jen, and welcome to all of our new members. Alrighty. In recognition of the dedication and excellence offered to the college by truly distinguished members of this faculty and staff, the College Key has presented the Distinguished Service Award annually during reunion weekend since 1993. The Distinguished Service Award honors long-term dedicated service to Bates. Recognizing this dedication and service is an essential part of the Bates culture of demonstrating our appreciation and gratitude to those around us. Long-serving faculty and staff set a positive example for others, highlighting the value of longevity, experience, and institutional knowledge in contributing to the college's success and sense of community. We think it's important to shine a spotlight on these sometimes unsung heroes of the college, those who work behind the scenes and contribute to creating that thriving and vibrant campus that we all love. These colleagues are the backbone of the college, ensuring that every aspect of campus life runs smoothly. So, it is therefore my honor to announce the 2025 College Key Distinguished Service Award. In recognition of 38 years of unwavering dedication, leadership, and service, we are proud to present this year's award to Tom Winslow, who recently retired from facility services as a lead carpenter. Tom, could you kindly join me by the podium while I read your citation? Tom is an incredibly talented craftsman, a true team player, and, by all accounts, a cherished friend. Over the course of nearly 4 decades, Tom has brought a level of care, creativity, and quiet excellence to every project he's touched. His work was as imaginative as it was essential, from constructing a 40-foot windmill, a prop plane, a vintage car, and the bow of a boat, to removing a metal suit of armor from the top of Pettingill. Tom's never hesitated to say yes and consistently transformed even the most loosely conceived ideas into fully realized works of art. As Joy Griffith recalled, Tom's craftsmanship could be seen across the campus, from the beautiful renovation of Alumni House to the joining of 2 buildings that now house the Harvard Center and the chaplain's office. It was obvious Tom took a lot of pride in his work, she wrote. His imaginative Harvest Dinner creations, complete with moving parts, became campus lore. I remember some of those as well. With many amazing creations, including an ice fishing shack that are stored to this day as part of his creative legacy. Tom Espiniette, who worked alongside him, called him the man, the myth, the legend, and reflected on how Tom mentored him early in his career, generously sharing knowledge, laughter, and his high standards. Over the years, Tom worked across multiple roles: grounds crew, carpenter, part-time mason, and locksmith, always putting his all into preserving Bates's beauty and integrity. Christine Schwartz captured Tom's ethos perfectly when she said, Tom truly embodied the Bates spirit. Whether he was crafting custom furniture, fixing doors, clearing ice, or checking in with colleagues with that familiar impish grin, Tom worked with humility, generosity, and full commitment to his craft and community. And to close, it's only fitting that we turn to President Emerita Clayton Spencer, whose words reflect the admiration and respect Tom earned across generations of Bates leadership. She wrote, "It is no accident that Tom Winslow shares his name with another notable New Englander and resident of Maine. Known for his great technical skill and brilliance, Winslow Homer set the standard for American landscape painting in the second half of the 19th century, and Tom Winslow holds a similar place in the annals of craftsmanship at Bates." She goes on to recall her first interaction with Tom in 2011, as he designed a set of bookshelves for the president's house. An elegant, precise, and completely original piece that discreetly concealed a television within floor-to-ceiling books. It was so clever and beautifully crafted that she showed it off to nearly every visitor. But beyond his talent, she remembers Tom as an exceptionally decent, generous, and honest man, a colleague who always had a smile, lent an ear, and shared a tactful insight when needed. She writes, "Thank you, Tom, for setting the standard for so many of us at Bates over your 38 years of superb work in your craft, and for your many contributions to your colleagues in the college. And thank you for your friendship." That gratitude, echoed by every colleague who worked with Tom, is what brings us here today. So now, please join me in extending our warmest congratulations and heartfelt appreciation to Tom Winslow, recipient of the 2025 College Key Distinguished Service Award, for 38 years of extraordinary service with ardor and devotion to Bates College.
I would just like to thank the College Key staff, faculty for this honor, and thank my fellow employees that took time out of their busy Friday afternoon to see me receive this honor. And I found my 38 years at Bates very easy. I pretty much just respected everyone that I was in contact with, staff, faculty, students, and it came easy. Thank you.
Alrighty, congratulations again to Tom. So we are also bidding farewell in absentia to our outstanding colleague Ben Hughes, who is concluding his term as secretary after joining the College Key Executive Committee in 2023. Due to travel complications, he was unable to join us today. But in his role as secretary, Ben maintained meticulous records of our meetings and played a key part in facilitating a smooth and successful alumni induction process every year, helping us welcome many impressive new members to the Key. And perhaps most importantly, Ben has been a steady and reliable presence. He has such a calm demeanor, and his thoughtful perspective has helped guide us as an organization through many important decisions and moments of transition. So it's just truly been a pleasure to work alongside Ben these past 3 years, and on behalf of the entire College Key, I'd like to invite you to extend a round of applause for Ben for his service in many countries.
We're also bidding farewell to Hank, our president. Hank has served on the College Key for the last 6 years, first 3 years as vice president, and the last 3 years as president. Hank has demonstrated outstanding leadership and commitment to the values of scholarship, service, and community that defines the College Key. The Key has continued to evolve into a robust and dynamic alumni organization under Hank. He has helped to fine-tune many of the processes that are critical to the smooth operation of the Key, and has ensured that the Key continues to make meaningful and lasting impacts on the Bates community. On a personal note, and most importantly to me, he has been an amazing mentor, providing the guidance and patience critical to giving me the tools to assume the role as president this year. He leaves really big shoes to fill, and I know that all of us in the executive committee are incredibly grateful for his leadership and commitment. And he should know that I will be reaching out to him quite a bit as we do this transition. So thank you, Hank.
All right, thank you, Jen. That's very kind. It's been a true pleasure, and it's hard to believe that the years go by very quickly. Now I'm pleased to announce 2 impressive nominees who have agreed to step into the open roles of vice president as Jen moves into the president role and secretary on our executive committee, pending a vote by the Key membership. Tahsin alum, class of 04, received his BA from Bates in political science with minors in economics and theater. He is the Associate Dean of Advancement at the University of Washington, Michael G. Foster's School of Business, and he has an extensive background in higher education leadership, organizational behavior, and strategic planning. Tahsin has been nominated for the role of Vice President. Pam Batchelder Johnson, class of 91, received her BA from Bates in American Studies. She most recently worked in education and has a deep background in philanthropy and foundation endeavors. She is also the past chair of the Bates Fund Executive Committee. Pam has been nominated for the role of secretary. May I have a motion to approve their nominations? A second?
Second.
Thank you, everyone. With that vote, Tahsin and Pam will begin their roles on July 1st of this year. We very much look forward to introducing them to the key in our upcoming newsletter. And as we finish up today's meeting, a few final thank yous, thoughts, and reminders. If you're interested in volunteering your time and talent on behalf of the key and perhaps joining the executive committee or one of our subcommittees in the future, please reach out to us. We'll be around after this meeting. You should be receiving our annual newsletter every fall via email. If for some reason you're not hearing from us via email and you'd like to, please let us know. We'll be sure we have your correct contact information in our system. We do very much appreciate your continued support in the form of dues payments each year, which allow the Key to make a continued and even greater collective impact on the college in the years to come. You had a chance to hear from our treasurer, Susan, and Senior Associate Dean Alan DeLong about some of the things that we make possible here at the college, and that's due to the efforts of many, the support of many that come together and allow us to make that impact together. We very much look forward to engaging you to get your input and participation on how the Key continues to administer some of these programs you heard about today, such as the Distinguished Alumni in Residence program that happens each year, where we bring alumni like Marnie Cochran to campus to share their journeys, share their career trajectories with students, as well as the Distinguished Service Award. If you have any questions or feedback, please contact us directly. And finally, I do want to express our gratitude to Justin Fortier and Marianne Cohen, who are on staff here at Bates. They also serve on the executive committee. Justin and Marianne are vital links connecting us to the college interests and to the support that we give for students and for our Key members. They are truly foundational in the support they give us, and without them, the communications and impact we offer to our membership and to Bates just simply wouldn't be possible. So thank you to Justin, who's in the back here, and Marianne in that section. With that, this meeting is adjourned. Have a wonderful evening and rest of your reunion weekend, and thank you all for joining us tonight.